I'm a little different than most of you. My project's actually been about 10 years in the making. It's just been the last 3 months I've actually had somebody to guide me through it. I think about 10 years ago I was at the clinic and I got a call from Rick Swalla, and he's in Iowa. He calls me and says, "Al, how can I get some boars to Colorado? What's the best way for me to get them there without worrying about getting birds?" And I thought, gosh, I don't know. I had no idea at the point. But Dale's slide kind of hit it on the head. Rick was thinking different, and he was thinking big. And he was also communicating, which has been a key to what I've learned so far about bird control. So I also have to thank Rick Swalla for planting the seed 10 years ago. My wife will often tell me I should be like the PR person for Cumin County, Nebraska. I think it's God's country. If it's not, it's fairly close to it. It's a little bit west of there, otherwise. It's a county about 25 miles by 25 miles in northeastern Nebraska. We're about, I'd say, an hour north of Omaha, 45 minutes to an hour, and we're about an hour south of Sioux City. There it is, a little bit closer. That line come down the middle is the Missouri River. Kind of gives us a little bit of a border from all the Iowa diseases over there. So. Description of the region. Like I said, it's a county in northeast Nebraska. Some sites in neighbor county that fall in the Cumin County cluster will be added into the area. We've got a couple farms that are positive, and they're right across the road on the county line from some negative farms, so they're going to be included. This is kind of from census. It's 360,000 acres in farm and livestock production. It's approximately 25 by 25. 134 sites located so far, about 200 identified. We actually we got a list from the Department of DEQ that had all the permitted sites in Cumin County. That's been a real helpful tool. I don't know how current it is, so some of these 200 are actually maybe obsolete small farms. There are 200 permitted sites in Cumin County. According to the census in 2007, Cumin County has a one-time inventory of about 190,000 pigs. In 2007, we were the number 5 county in Nebraska and 93rd nationally for pigs. I'm just seeing. Okay, 20% of facilities are wean to finish. Roughly 20% are farrowing. The boar stud is actually not a standalone boar stud. It's on a farm, but they do sell semen in some other facilities from time to time. The unknown, the 20%, I think that's the seasonal guys. As we get to my working group, I'll kind of explain what we're trying to do with some of those. And then the finishers would be about 40%. We do get a lot of pigs that come from outside of the area, but the majority of pigs are from Cumin County. Again, this is historical data. 40% of the sites are positive, known negative about 4%, and the unknown 36%. This is just by site. I would say 95% of the pigs are going to be in these two circles, or these two pipes to the right. I would say that unknown is just a very, very small percentage of pigs. Just further description, we have multiple truck washes in the county, 2 slaughter facilities within 30 minutes, multiple feed mills. The majority of imported pigs come to the western part of the county. What we're going to try to do as we move along is to see the incidence of PRRS, new introduction of PRRS virus in the western part of the county versus the eastern part, where it's a little more consistent fair fish site. And then again, we do have 2 major highways, 32 and 275. Why Cumin County and why it will work? That's a great question. As I was coming over here, I thought a little bit more about this, but I haven't been to a county that has a stronger livestock producer group. It's probably 1, 2, or 3 in the number of cattle on feed in the country at any given time, probably 3rd right now. But cattle feeders are a very, very strong, very, very vocal group, and sometimes they'll have, maybe 10, 20,000 head of cattle on feed, and they'll have 500 sows. So we get to ride their coattails a little bit. They're very, very financially stable family farms. I would say very, very diverse as well. Whether it be fair to finish with multiple sites that have cattle on feed, aggressive pro-livestock zoning. If you're committing to fixing something, you want to be able to be around without having nuisance lawsuits attacking you later. In the year 2000, some of these very strong cattle feeders got together, and in Cumin County, to build an acreage, you have to buy 40 acres. So I don't know of any other place that's like that. As an hour away from Omaha, you start to see some of these little bedroom communities start to build up our acreages. That's not going to happen here. They've tried to fight that multiple times. That has not been overturned. The vet clinic, I believe, has a strong influence. It's probably the really only vet clinic in the county that does a lot of swine work. There are some integrators that send pigs into to the area too, but I have pretty good contact with them as well to know what's going on. And we've got a terrific extension office. It's nice to see you guys here too. We've got a really, really strong extension office. That helps a lot with the show pigs especially. The other real good benefit, I believe, is the 3 counties to the north, south, and east have a low number of hogs. The challenges, again, are small seasonal farms. I'd kind of lump those in with similar to the 4-H type of people. They'll have pigs in the summer. We've got a non-terminal county fair. They are looking at maybe going to a terminal show there. I think they're really advocating that. I think the state fair is going to be a terminal show this year. We have a lot of independent producers. Works in our favor in a lot of things, but some of them, I think one of the things I heard about the Stevens County project is maybe there was one fellow that was kind of difficult to deal with at the end. Is that right, Scott?
Oh, we'll hear about it.
Okay.
But,
okay.
He's not so difficult.
Okay. Well, we might have a few of those as we get going. It's really, really great to hear. Noel graduated ahead of me in vet school, and every once in a while our classes would get together and play basketball. And the off chance that his class beat us, we'd be really, really mad. We'd want to come back and come harder the next day. Well, he's ahead of me right now after seeing his presentation, so I've got to get going. We do have a lot of fair finish facilities as well. At least in our hands, that's been a little more difficult to stabilize some of those farms when they have the nurseries and the finisher arms on site. And again, diverse farms, that can be a challenge just because the attention to detail sometimes with the big cattle feeder, he may not see the importance of washing a truck out as much as the swine farmer down the road. What has been done so far? We formed the working group. I think we've got a large percentage of farms located. We have the DEQ spreadsheet has been real helpful, and then we've just kind of just went across on Google Earth and tried to find every site that we can. Another challenge getting back to that is just the time commitment it takes. It's very, very difficult for me as a veterinarian to figure out how I'm going to do this. So in addition to Jean Paul, I need to thank my wife because there's a lot of times I'm doing this at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Maybe that's actually a blessing for her. I don't know. We have had an initial meeting with producers. About a month and a half ago, they had a swine handling conference in West Point, and we just got up and spoke a little bit about what we're doing. It was very, very well received. That meeting wasn't specific to our county. There were multiple counties to the west of us that actually stopped me after the meeting and were real interested in knowing if we could help them get this started. So word of mouth is good. I do think, I don't remember who said it, but we need to keep them motivated, keep them going. So hopefully it doesn't just have this big flame at the start and then kind of burn itself out. It's really important that we have the right people in place to make sure we move this thing along. This website, Basecamp, I talked to Noel a little bit about it in the break. This is a really, really great tool, and maybe Jean Paul or somebody can talk to you a little bit more about it. But this is a website, probably you interns are real familiar with it, but it's been a really good source of information for people to talk and to communicate. This is probably the group I'm the most excited about. I think listening to some other working groups, they have good people too. I really, really believe I got a real good mix here. Larry Howard is the extension leader. One of his focuses is going to be on show pigs. I can't remember if it was Angela or somebody brought up one of the things that another county had done to help with show pigs. We've offered to bleed show pigs for free. We had a meeting. 4-H, the kids that show livestock have to go through a training course. It's about a 4-hour course. We came and presented to them. We will bleed their pigs for free. We will support some of the diagnostics as well. And we're going to try to give a $500 scholarship or probably a $500 scholarship to all the kids who enter negative pig. We're going to put their name in a hat and we're going to pull out the winner. So it gives them a little bit of drive to try to get a negative pig because the number one producer of show pigs in the county is very, very positive. He's probably got multiple viruses. And he's a mile from town, and he's the one that directs kids on how to show pigs as well. So we're hoping maybe this will motivate him a little too. Chris Klitz, the president of Cumin County pork producer. He owns a 750 sow fair to finish facility on the east portion of the county. Very, very strong. Chris Klitz and Dave McGuire are two people that probably keep me in check in reality a little bit. I'm a real dreamer and an optimistic person. They'll leave a meeting and say, Alan, it's going to take a little longer than that. So it's good to have them. Dave McGuire is the owner of McGuire Farms. It's a Hampshire breeding farm. It's in the northwest portion of the county. And one of the things I felt was really important was try to get a little bit of input from all areas of the county, because as we start to identify some of these small seasonal farms, it's almost impossible for me to know everybody. Al Gathmeyer, he's close to 70 years old. He manages a 1,200 sow unit. He's beanpole thin and the most optimistic, energetic person you'll ever meet. He's also with me in keeping those other two guys from following us a little bit. But he's in the northeast portion of the county. Russ Baring, he's a new ad. He owns a mill company. He's very involved in national pork producers. The south portion of the county is really difficult to get our hands around. As you move in the southwest portion of our county, it goes from a real flat terrain to a bit of a rolling hill terrain. A little bit more difficult to find all the farms, to know where that guy that has 10 sows is, but there are still a lot of those out there. And then this guy, he's actually in the audience today, Kevin Dobish. It's almost as if God just came and put this guy here on earth to help me with this project. Kevin, by all measure, would be a non-traditional vet student. His 30s, he was previously manager of a Walla Farm multiplier unit near West Point. I worked with Kevin many, many years. He does a fantastic job. Animal husbandry, attention to detail, records, everything about the guy is terrific. He decided he was going to leave the swine industry, went to nursing school, came an RN, came to me last fall and said he'd like me to write a recommendation to him for vet school. Well, Kevin starts vet school this fall, so I have him for 6 weeks, and he's going to hit the ground running doing a lot of the site assessments. Because everybody knows him, because he knows all of them, he's going to be able to hit the ground running pretty well. So thanks, Kevin. What's next? Next Tuesday night, we're in a TQA, PQA meeting, and in the middle of that, we're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to start getting some of the consent forms filled out. We're going to introduce Kevin and tell them exactly what he's doing. Don't really have to introduce him, but explain to them that Kevin's going to be coming to their site or trying to call them, meet with them, and do some of the site assessment. We'd like to have all the risk assessments by the end of the year. That's going to be up to Kevin's schedule, too. I'm going to try to talk his instructors at vet school, maybe let him take a little time off his first semester. I don't know that they'll go for that. I think we're pretty comfortable on the historical status of all sites as of currently, but we'd like to get a little more updated by this fall, and then agree on the monitoring program and the final goals. Here's our future. Probably like everybody else's, we're going to use the data that we've compiled and try to figure out how to put things in clusters, stabilize a little area. We're going to try to educate, do the annual risk assessments. And at the bottom of this, it's just communication. I think at the end of this, communication is the key. One of the challenges, getting back to it as I close, is how do you you don't want to overpromise and underproduce, I guess, is what some of my clients will say. So I don't want to tell them in 3 years Cumin County is going to be PERS negative. But I do want them to feel like they have ownership of something we're moving in the right direction. I have a great deal of respect for Scott B. 15 years ago, I was like you guys. I was at a future veterinary meeting, and Scott was the presenter. So he's a little bit older than me. But he told me to think creatively and find ways to do that. And I think this is it. I mean, this is a very creative way to fight a disease. We just don't have, as somebody said, the silver bullet. Vaccine helps, herd closure works, but as we start to put all those weapons together, I think it's really, really going to be important that we communicate. And all this data we can get to Scott and his group, and maybe they can put it all together and figure out what's the best way to control this.